Having nice and sharp photos is ideally what every photographer wants at the end of their photo shoot. But getting sharp photos starts by having the right settings inside our camera. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you what I think are the 3 most common reasons your photos have ended up looking blurry and how we can actually improve the image quality of our photos straight out of camera. And I'm going to start right now. Now, the most common reason your photo is looking a little bit blurry is probably down to your shutter speed. You're shooting too slow of a shutter speed, either for your scene or for your focal length. Now, your exposure triangle, that is your shutter speed, aperture, and ISO, not only controls your exposure, but it also has a secondary effect to your image as well. If you change the aperture, not only will it affect your exposure, but it'll also affect your depth of field. If you change your ISO, not only will it affect your exposure, but it'll also affect how much grain is in your image. And shutter speed is exactly the same. Shutter speed controls your exposure, but it also controls motion blur. The slower the shutter speed, the more motion blur you'll be adding into your photo, and the higher the shutter speed, the less motion blur. Now, this is really important to think about depending on the subject that you're photographing. If you're photographing a really slow subject, then you can shoot at a really slow shutter speed. Or if you're photographing a really fast subject, again, you might want to increase the shutter speed. And here are 2 rules that I would use if you're finding your photos are blurry down to motion blur. The first one is never shoot slower than 1/160th of a second if you are hand holding your camera. So if you're shooting at a 50th or a 20th of a second, it's super easy to slightly move your hands and introduce motion blur from physically carrying your camera. So if you're finding you're getting motion blur by moving, never shoot slower than a 1/160th of a second unless you're using a tripod. The other rule is double your shutter speed with the focal length that you're using. So for example, if you're using a really big lens like this is the new Sigma 300 to 600mm, if you shoot at 1/160th of a second, even though you're hand holding it, you'll still probably end up with blurry photos. So then I would double your shutter speed depending on the focal length. So for example, let's say I'm shooting at 500mm at f4 with this lens, then I would probably shoot no slower than 1/1000th of a second. That will make sure that my images are nice and sharp, basically by reducing motion blur from hand holding a lens like this. But again, you want to think about what you're photographing. If you're photographing a bird sitting on a perch, then your photo will be nice and sharp. But if it's mid-flight, then 1/1000th of a second is just not going to be fast enough. So really think about your shutter speed, the environment, but also the gear that you're using. And try and shoot as fast of a shutter speed you can, regardless of the ISO. You can easily remove ISO grain, but you can't remove motion blur. Now, the second most common reason your images are soft, and this is especially noticeable in the corners, is depending on the aperture that you're shooting on. Now, I love shooting on lenses like this, wide aperture prime lenses. This aperture is an f1.4. This is the Canon EF 85mm f1.4L, and I absolutely love this lens. When I first brought it, I shot at f1.4 all the time, basically using the entire glass to capture the photo. But I found that my images were, especially in the corners, a lot softer than they are in the center. And that's because you're using the entire glass. And glass does have imperfections, and it's more noticeable, especially on the outside of the lens. So I would actually recommend stepping down at least a couple of stops if image quality and sharpness is the goal. You'll find that your actual image quality will drastically improve if you step down to, let's say, f5.6 or f8. Sure, you won't get that amazing foreground and background separation, but you might find there's a nice balance. Maybe f2 or f2.8 has the sharpness that you need while still having that nice foreground and background separation. Aperture plays a really big role, not only on the depth of field, but also on the sharpness. Naturally, because the center of the actual glass of the lens is going to be sharper than the corners. And when you step down, you're only using that central part of the glass, making your images look a lot sharper. Now, every lens is going to be slightly different, but most lenses are really sharp, maybe 2 to 3 stops narrower than their maximum aperture. And you might have to do a little bit of tests. Now, I test this on all of my lens reviews, and with this lens here, the sharpest I can get this lens is around f5.6. Now, I probably wouldn't shoot at f5.6, I'd probably shoot at maybe f2.8, but I probably would never shoot wide open if sharpness and image quality was the goal. And my last reason your photos are probably not as sharp as they should be is not down to the camera setting, it's not down to your lens or equipment, it's down to one accessory, and it is this. This is a filter. Now, in the photography world, filters I think are incredibly useful, and you get a whole variety of different filters. This one here is just a standard UV filter, but you can get neutral density filters that are really good for creating long exposure effects. You get circular polarizer filters, which are really good for increasing contrast, as well as removing haze from your photos. The problem is, anything you put on the front of the lens is naturally going to reduce the image quality. And it's really common to see, especially with a lot of beginner photographers, that they buy the cheapest and most inexpensive filters possible because they've spent all their money on a camera and lens. And this, in my opinion, is a big no-no. Never buy a really cheap filter to put on the front of your lens. You will end up with very soft images, or at least softer images than if you weren't using a filter. What I usually say to people that come into my local camera shop and we're talking about filters is just imagine that you've got perfect 20/20 vision, and then you go ahead and smear Vaseline over a pair of sunglasses. It doesn't matter how clear your vision is, you're looking through smeary sunglasses. And it's the same situation with your lens and filter. Now, to show you what I mean, I've got 3 photos. Here is a photo taken with no filter. Here is a photo taken with a really cheap filter. This is a filter I found off £10 off of Amazon. And then here is a filter that I personally use. This is the B+W UV filter. And this filter set me back around £120. And if we have a look at them side by side and we look into the center of the image, you can see that the actual really expensive filter and the no filter look really similar. Well, we're getting this almost ghostly contrasty look that you can see on the really cheap filter. So if you're finding your images are soft and you've got the right settings, you've got the right camera, you've got the right lens, it might be down to the filter. And just ditch a cheap UV filter and either use no filter at all or just spend your money on a nice expensive one if you want to protect the front element.